Alright guys, the time has finally come for the Alaska videos. If you remember us talking about it in the past, we have mentioned this a few times that I need to start working on the Alaska videos. But it's finally here. So this trip was kind of a big deal because not only did I propose to Cayenne on this trip, but it was the last state that I needed to go to, and now I can say that I've been in all 50 states. So I've been dreading these videos as far as the editing goes because this was right after we started on YouTube. We had like 2 videos out. We had never really vlogged before, so this was our first introduction to that. And not only that, we had 2 GoPros, that was it, and they were the Hero 3 Plus Silvers. It's not the best. It's not the best at all. I shot in 60 frames per second the entire time, even if it was night, because I didn't know any better. And we were not the best at talking to the camera at all. And even if we were, it wouldn't matter because the audio sucks. So that's why we're doing this. We're doing like a voiceover kind of deal where we can talk more about the trip and give a little bit more detail.
So we started in Nashville and we were heading to Seattle.
We were really excited about this trip because we were new to YouTube. We were like, yeah, we're gonna record as much as we possibly can. But it was too much. I had like 4 hours of footage just getting to Alaska, just because we were recording out the window as much as we possibly could to do those time-lapse videos.
So when we landed in Seattle, we had to take a tram to go to our next flight, and then we were headed to Anchorage.
When we landed in Anchorage, it had just gotten dark. It was a little after midnight, I think, and the sun had just went down, which is one of the cool things about Alaska. We went in the middle of June, so it's when the sun is up almost the entire day. So that was really cool. We officially made it to Anchorage, Alaska. This is the last state that I needed to visit, and now I can say that I've been in all 50. Kind of a big deal for me. Now we're just waiting on the shuttle to take us to the airport.
It is quite chilly.
50 degrees.
What was the difference?
Yeah, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. I was made for this weather.
The next day.
The next morning we got up and we went and got our rental car. We got a Dodge Charger. We were excited about that. And it was all-wheel drive. I thought that was a little interesting.
Mm-hmm. We were just wanting a regular car and they were like, hey, here's a nice little Charger for you.
Not bad. So we got up, we went to the Slippery Salmon for breakfast. I will always remember this restaurant, and it is not for a good reason, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
After breakfast, we walked downtown to rent some bicycles.
We are walking in Anchorage right now. We're headed down to a bike rental place, and we're gonna go ride down the coastal trail.
But we're gonna see some moose.
It's a coastal trail, it goes right by the ocean. It's apparently a lot of moose in that area. They're dropping calves right now, so we have to be on the lookout. We took a ride along the Tony Knowles Coastal Trail, which is actually really cool. It goes along the outer bank around Anchorage, and it's about 10 miles, and it goes from downtown Anchorage to Kincaid State Park. But we only went about halfway.
The bike ride was brutal. I wasn't wanting to be on the bike at all.
Yeah, she wasn't I don't know how well the GoPros are gonna pick it up, but there were several times where she was like, I can't go anymore. And she just got off the bike and she was walking it. And I think at one point I was literally riding circles around her.
Like, my legs hurt so much.
All right, so we just rented bikes and rode down the Tony Knowles Coastal Trail that goes around Anchorage. And it was really cool. Saw some really cool views of the mountains and the water and everything. And yeah, the city, because we rode like 5 miles out away from the city. It was cool. We did not see any moose though. So.
I'm gonna see one soon though.
Anyway, now we're gonna go lay down for a minute and then go to the Midnight Sun Brewery for a tour. So there's our awesome vlogging skills. It was great. Traffic noise in the background. Anyway, so after the bike ride, I was feeling a little tired. As I said in that clip, we were about to go lay down for a minute. At least I was. At the time, I didn't know what was going on, but I just felt so tired, so sluggish. I think we skipped lunch because it was like 2 p.m. I think. And we were supposed to be going to the brewery at like 4 or 5. But I just felt so tired. I was a little hungry, just trying to make it through. We end up getting back to the hotel room and I just lay down and I go to sleep and I cannot wake up.
While he was napping, I was getting ready to go to the beer tour and he just kept sleeping. And I was getting irritated. I was trying to be like as nice as possible, but I was like, come on, let's go. And he was just like, I'm not feeling good and I just want to lay down. And
in her shoes, we're on this big vacation. This is like the biggest vacation that we had been on as a couple before. And here I am just sleeping and she's wanting to go out and do stuff. It's like the first day in Alaska and I'm not getting up. It was like 8 o'clock. She decides that she's just gonna go to bed because I can't wake up. And all of a sudden, I just felt so bad, got up, and I started puking. I had food poisoning from our breakfast that day at the Slippery Salmon. I will never forget the name of that place.
we realized eating eggs when you're traveling probably isn't the best thing in the entire world.
That's what got her dad in the Philippines, which happened 2 years after this trip. But the videos have already been out for like 2 years, so.
Just eggs. Just don't have them when you're traveling.
Yeah, if you're traveling, no eggs.
I did not have eggs. I just had meat. I think I had like a pancake or waffle or something like that. I practically had no eggs. I had sausage, deer sausage.
Oh yeah, reindeer sausage. Mm-hmm. This is Thursday night. Technically our first day since we got there at like midnight Thursday. So this is still the same day, and I started puking at like 8 p.m. The entire next day, I was just out of it completely. I could not eat anything. If I thought about food, I was just gonna throw up again. Yeah,
he was telling me, he's like, you can go ahead and do what you want to do today. I was like, but I'm not gonna do it by myself. So I need him to have something on his stomach to help him. So I decided I was gonna go take the charger out and go get some Sprite, ginger ale, crackers, whatever it is, and even snacks for the rest of the trip. So I go to this little store, which is probably maybe 5 or 8 miles away from our hotel. I grab the necessities needed to make him feel good. And then as I'm driving back, I have the GPS going because I have no idea where I'm going. And the GPS tells me to take a left out of the store I'm at. So I'm at a light, about to take a left. As the light turns green, car in front of me goes straight. I take a left, like the GPS says. Little did I know there was like 4 cars coming towards me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going down a one-way. So then I immediately turn right into some random person's driveway. And it's like a connect through driveway to where I can go to a different street. And then the GPS takes me safely back to the hotel.
And all of this happened while I was just out. And nobody will ever know what exactly happened that day that KN took the charger out. There was a lot of factors there. She's not really an adventurous person when it comes to like traveling on her own, I guess, and like driving in new places. Not only that, she had a super small car and she went to a charger, which was significantly larger. She wasn't really good with recording anyway, even though I don't think she would in the moment. So there was no video footage of anything happening.
And I'm bad with directions. That's why I was listening to the GPS.
So yeah, after all of that, I start coming out of it a little bit and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel better. I was actually, the thing that I remember is I felt hungry. I didn't feel hungry the whole time until I felt hungry. I was like, I think it's time to eat something. And I think this was like, it's probably like 3 or 4 on Friday. Can ordered Chinese food. I think it'll be okay because I felt hungry. I thought I was over it. Well, I took 1 bite of chicken, instantly threw up again.
In my head, I'm thinking just eat the rice, but he goes for chicken.
And I did. I ate the rice and I kept it down. So rice was okay. Chicken, even though I was super hungry and I wanted it, smelled so good, I could not eat it. So I lived on rice that whole rest of the time. After I was feeling well enough to go out, we decided to go to, I think we did go to Kincaid Park where the bike path would have taken us if we went the entire way. Ultimate goal here was to see a moose, and we did.
Oh my God, it's a moose! Hi, moose.
Yeah, we saw the moose on the way to Kincaid Park, and we parked on the side of the road. I don't know if that's legal. It's probably not. We probably could have gotten in trouble for that, because I know they have laws about stopping to see moose and stuff like that, since they're all over the place. But we went to Kincaid Park, saw the sunset, and that was basically the end of our first 2 days in Alaska. The food poisoning for me, I guess it could have happened at a worse time, but at the same time, it's like it was the worst time for me, because Saturday we were doing a helicopter tour, and that was the day that I was gonna propose to King Ann. So Thursday for half the day, Friday for half the day, food poisoning, completely out of it, and then the day after that, proposing.
Oh, we were also supposed to go see some wolves.
Oh yeah,
At a sanctuary on the Friday that he was sick.
We missed out. Thursday we were supposed to do a brewery tour at Midnight Sun Brewery, and then Friday we were supposed to go to the Anchorage or Alaska Zoo, I don't remember what it was called, and do a behind the scenes thing with wolves, and it was the last week that it was available, and that was it. It was over. We couldn't do it after that. So
as you know, in the different brew
at the zoo, Knoxville.
Yes, they had wolves, and I was like
Or
dead
coyotes.
set of wolves and wanted to see him because it's my favorite animal, and I just never ever get to see them if it has to do with him.
So yeah, on that disappointment, that is going to be the end of our first Alaska video, and like I said, the next day was a proposal, so be on the lookout for that one. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you do, so you can see her face light up in the fake looking backdrop, even though it is 100% real. So we will see you on our next day of adventures. We are walking in Anchorage. I'm gonna wait and see. Okay, so these are, you have two different gears?
Yep, front and rear. So the front only has 3 rings and the back has 8.
Your pants went up your butt, so I see a perfect crack.
Didn't we have a beer?
We had a beer in like every airport. Peace. Wow. And day 1.